Welcome back, my magical star beings. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at people's unspoken thoughts about you. In terms of your pile selection, you can either choose the pile you're most drawn to, or you can choose based off your zodiac, which is in the thumbnail. So for pile 1, we have Citrine with the Chariot. For pile 2, we have Amazonite with the Queen of Cups. And for pile 3, we have Lapis lazuli with the Star. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below. If you'd like to support the channel by watching the sponsored segment of the video, I would appreciate it, but then I will see you at your reading. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with a psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. Pile 1, you chose Citrine and the Chariot, so we're going to be taking a look at people's unspoken thoughts about you. So I'd just like to announce that I do have 10 spots available for the first week of December personal readings. If you'd like to book with me, you can find all my details in the description box below. Okay, so spirit guides of pile number 1, please tap me into the energy of people's unspoken thoughts of them. We have the Eight of Swords, and we have Strength Reverse, and the King of Swords. Okay, so this seems to be a group of people that are open with being vulnerable. Like, they're the types of people that will tell, like, literally anybody anything about their life. And maybe they have the thought process that you are coming across as very private. I could be picking up on Cancer or Leo energy so far, either your sign or the group of people we're talking about. And it seems as though they have like some kind of lack of boundaries with that, where they will like literally overshare with anybody. And it's almost like they're confused as to why you're not oversharing with them. Then they go on to think that maybe you're hiding something, and that almost causes them to then overstep boundaries of like trying to figure out secrets of yours, trying to figure you out, or trying to figure out the truth of you or what's going on in your life, because you're not oversharing, because you're being private with your information, because there's this lack of access to your information. And now, I think you're just very different in nature, and maybe they don't understand this. And so maybe some of them kind of project a certain idea onto you, or kind of like try to pry just because you're not oversharing like them, or because you're not sharing a lot about yourself or your life. Maybe some of you could have like Scorpio energy. Even if not, there's just a sense of privacy here. The moon reverse tells me, when I was shuffling your cards and split the deck, tells me that they're almost like trying to uncover secrets of yours, or like uncover the deeper sides of you that they can't see. And the Eight of Swords is kind of like this feeling of feeling stuck, like I can't get past your boundaries in some way. But I don't think they're trying to be malicious in any way. I think they just aren't aware that they're maybe trying to cross boundaries unintentionally. And they might almost think that you don't really know who you can share like your truth with, who you can share yourself with, like things about your life. And don't get me wrong, again, it's not malicious. It's kind of like they want to include you in the group. Let's say you're in a group of however many people, and you're sitting at like a dinner table and everybody's sharing things about their life, and they want you to share too because they want you to feel included. But then when you don't, it feels like you're purposely excluding yourself. And I don't think you're trying to do that, but maybe you just don't trust them yet, or you don't know if you can share these things yet, or maybe you take your time sharing these things about yourself, but then they see it in a different way and maybe project onto you. And I don't get that you're wrong. I don't get that they're wrong. I get that maybe you just are very different and they don't quite understand that, this group of people. Of course, they shouldn't overstep boundaries of yours, but I guess the intention here is just like wanting to know who you are fully, like wanting you to share things about yourself and your life. Okay, so what else? What are people's unspoken thoughts about pile 1? We have the Hierophant reverse, Two of Pentacles reverse, and the Eight of Cups reverse. Okay, so there's another group of people here, and I'm going to explain their kind of thought process here. They could be earth signs, especially Tauruses, or just embody that earthy kind of energy. But they could be in a phase of instability with the Two of Pentacles reverse. Either emotional instability or financial instability or instability in general. Or they find themselves in a lot of like imbalanced connections. For example, unrequited love. The kind of connections where it's like one-sided, I guess. These seem to be people you have moved on, and it seems they have also created a one-sided connection with you. So the Eight of Cups reverse represents you maybe like walking away from them or choosing to distance yourself from them or not wanting to be around them anymore. Maybe you outgrew a few people. But Eight of Cups reverse tells me that even though you've moved on, they haven't. It's like they still believe they can win you back in some way, but maybe you've moved on. But it's weird because I don't really see commitment or loyalty with them. So this energy is kind of like weird. It's like they want you back in their life, but I don't see them being loyal to you, or like, if this is romantic, I don't see them like committing, which I don't understand. Like, why do you want somebody? Okay, maybe they have like a fear of commitment. Maybe that was why you walked away for some, like, maybe you had certain like romantic situationships, people you were talking to romantically, and you cut them off because they weren't looking for anything serious if you are. And maybe they still want something with you but don't want to commit, which is strange. It's like they're hoping they can change your mind. We have the Four of Swords showing up reverse, the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Fortune's Wheel. So when I pulled Fortune's Wheel, I heard Angel of Fortune. So maybe you are being blessed right now in your life with a lot of luck, good opportunities. If you haven't seen that play out yet, then maybe people just think that of you, or maybe that is going to happen soon and it could be showing up in a future energy of future thoughts about you. But either way, people just think you're a very lucky person, and this is coming from a group of people that are perhaps younger than you, or maybe they feel like they're not on the same level as you. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody's equal, but maybe they feel like in terms of social hierarchy or hierarchy in career, it's like they're not on your level, or they're not as successful as you or as powerful as you. Even if they are, maybe it just feels like they haven't accomplished as much as you yet. And it feels like they kind of look up to you in that way. Like, oh, this person's so lucky. You know, I wish I could be like them one day. That's the kind of energy that's showing up here. Almost like I want to learn from you. I see you as like my mentor or my muse, or the person that's already there, like where they want to be in life, and I'm almost like taking inspiration from that. But with the Four of Swords reverse, it kind of stresses them out because they wonder, like, how did you get there? How do I get myself from this place to where you are? Because the kind of destination seems so far away. How do I even make it happen? There may be overall some kind of self-comparison here, but I don't see envy. I also see this energy of like, I want to be like you, or I look up to you in some way. And it's like they're looking at you as if you're so lucky, as if you're just attracting great opportunities your way, or as if everything's kind of falling into place for you at the right moment, at the right time. You could also have some people that feel like you facilitated some kind of growth for them or helped them grow in some way, and they feel like they were meant to meet you. These could also be earth signs or a fixed sign, a group of fixed signs, so Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and I'm also seeing Virgo with the Hermit at the back of the deck. I hear the word hyper-independent, so they could be hyper-independent, or they could think you're hyper-independent. These seem to be fated connections, and they think that you kind of just came into their life at the right time. There's so much thoughts of appreciation here, but there may almost be this feeling of like, we're not talking to each other anymore, or we're not in contact anymore, and I almost feel restless, wondering like how I can make this happen again. But I feel like you came into their life for a specific reason, not to stay for long, but just to teach them something, to help facilitate their growth in some way. And there is appreciation for that in their unspoken thoughts. Maybe they want to express that to you, but don't know how. But there's also a feeling here of like, I miss you. I kind of like think about what we had. So I guess you have a lot of people from your past reminiscing on you, missing you in the unspoken thoughts here. It almost feels like they're in a phase of their life where they feel very lonely. And as I said that, I saw your spirit guide, so I'm going to take that as confirmation, and it's like they miss your presence. Let's get our last set of cards, then we're going to get some zodiacs for you and them, for the people that are thinking these things. Just so that you have more confirmation, like if you see a specific sign or a specific initial, you know who it is. Okay, so last unspoken thoughts. The Empress. The Magician reverse. And Patience reverse. Okay, so this last group of people seem to be quite manipulative in some way. The type of manipulation where it's like they almost pressure you into doing something you don't want to do, or into doing something that you maybe want to take your time thinking about. With Patience reverse, it's kind of like they've rushed you in some way with a decision that you were trying to like take your time figuring out. This could be like somebody giving you a contract and, you know, trying to make you sign the contract fast without looking over it first or thinking about it first. Maybe there is some kind of trickery here with the Magician reverse. Like trying to trick you into doing something or pressure you into doing something before you're ready. And it's because they want something from you. And they want the situation to change as soon as possible, like with you, but it's almost like they're realizing that you're one that wants to, you're like the type of person that wants to take your time deciding on things, and when you're ready, you will make the decision. They realize that just because you romanticize your life and come across as this light-hearted, nurturing person, that you're not naive, and that you won't be pressured into something you don't want to do or something you want to think about first. I almost see this energy of being trapped in a cage. So you don't want to be trapped in something where it's like you agreed to do it, but later you regret doing it because you feel trapped. So I guess with the Empress here, there is a message to protect your heart, protect your abundance, protect something of yours. I know the Empress doesn't typically mean that, but the Empress represents like a kind of like kind-hearted, nurturing person or abundance. And in this case, it feels like somebody's almost tricking you into taking something from you. Like I said, with the contract situation, like let's say somebody tricks you into signing a contract and it's like they're taking more than they actually said verbally. They state that in the contract, maybe you don't read that. So there's like a message here to protect your assets, to protect what you have, to protect your heart, to not let people pressure you into doing things you don't want to do. They think that you're very beautiful in nature, that you're someone that has overcome a lot of problems in your life, and people think that you may have been at a place one day where you were feeling stuck, but maybe you chose to take control of your life and overcome that. And you won't allow yourself to worry about things that just aren't going to be important, like later on in the long term. Like small things that maybe seem big in the moment, but just aren't huge. Like when we look at it at a bigger picture or longer term kind of view. People have also seen that just because you seem innocent, you're not naive. It's like people think sometimes they can play games with you that you're not going to catch it, but then you do. And there's something also about self-love, knowing your worth, not settling for things where like people want to offer you half of what you deserve and convince you to just accept it. So that is what I have for this section of the reading. Let's get zodiacs and initials now. Okay, so if you like this reading so far and you want to see my membership, I do post a weekly video on there. And let me know how this has resonated in the comments so far. We have Cancer, Taurus, Leo, Pisces, Virgo. Someone wants reassurance that you're not annoyed by them in some way. And Gemini. We have J, C. Someone is also thinking you smell really good. We have F, M. Also, let me know if you liked how I did this reading, because like, I don't know if you saw, like, I did it like, okay, who is thinking this, and then the actual thoughts they were thinking, or if that was just like unnecessary information. M-U, E, L, D, K, S, Q, I, A, N, and B. So that is all I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the Amazonite crystal and the Queen of Cups. We're going to be taking a look at what are people's unspoken thoughts about you. I do have 10 spots available for personal readings for the first week of December. If you'd like to book with me, you can find my contact details in the description box below. So, as I said to Pile 1, I'm doing this reading a little bit differently today than how I usually do it, where I just say the thoughts. In this time, I'm going to like do it like I tell you about the group of people that are thinking these things and what they're thinking. Let me know if you actually like it or if it's unnecessarily information after watching. Okay, so spirit guides of Pile 2. Please tap me into the energy of people's unspoken thoughts about Pile 2. We have Coal. We have the Five of Cups. And we have the Nine of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so this seems to be a group of people that are a little bit codependent, clingy, display kind of like obsessive behavior I hear in my mind. And it's almost like when they don't talk to you for long, it's like they get really sad and they miss you. These could be water signs, earth signs. Doesn't have to be though. I'm also seeing the Gemini symbol in my mind's eye. These are also people that are very sensitive, where they take everything to heart. And, you know, like when a person doesn't spend a lot of time with them for like a long period of time, they start questioning if that person has moved on from them, doesn't want to hang out with them. They take things very personally. And with Coal here, it seems like they're thinking of actually calling you or messaging you or communicating with you, because maybe they feel like they haven't spoken with you in some time. Maybe you've been really busy lately, or maybe you're just like one of those low maintenance friends where it's like you don't need to call or text all the time. Either way, it just seems like they are thinking about communicating because they miss you. and they want to see you soon or just catch up with you, check what's going on in your life. These could be people that feel like they're closer with you in some way. They're thinking that I need you, I miss you, like, please talk to me. There may even be apologies coming soon. So if somebody feels like they've disappointed you, they might want to apologize to you, or vice versa, be expecting an apology from you if they feel like you hurt their feelings in some way or disappointed them in some way. There's kind of like unspoken thoughts here of like, do you not like me anymore? Do you not want to hang out with me anymore? Did I do something wrong? I'm sad because you're not paying attention to me kind of energy. They think that you're usually someone that pours your heart out with the Queen of Cups, is very empathetic, compassionate, kind-hearted, deep. But they wonder where this energy went, because maybe like in person you're very much like that, but maybe you're not like always showing them your care or like giving them reassurance or something. But it seems like they're wondering like, where's that energy now? Not in a bad way, but kind of like, I miss that. I miss like your affection. I miss your hugs. I miss talking to you. I miss you telling me how you feel. King of Swords. The Knight of Cups reverse. And the Four of Wands reverse. Okay. So when I pull this King of Swords card and put my hand over it now, I see somebody like crashing out. And I know the King of Swords isn't usually an angry card. I usually read the King of Wands reverse as a card of anger or Five of Wands. But I literally saw a vision, like when I put my hand here, of somebody like crashing out, throwing an adult tantrum in some way. This could be a male, but it doesn't have to be. And it seems like this is a group of people that feel like they didn't get what they wanted from you with the Nine of Cups reverse. Could be a little bit entitled, or could feel like you promised them something, or they expected something from you that was maybe unspoken. Kind of like, you know, when somebody expects something but doesn't like state their expectation, and then they get disappointed later, or feel like you didn't do that for them, but like you're not a mind reader in any way. It feels like they are thinking very heavily about this feeling of like, I trusted you, I wanted you to do this, but like they didn't even tell you what they wanted from you. Or maybe they did for some of you, but for most of you, this seems to be kind of unspoken in a way, like, I'm expecting something from you, but I'm not expressing what I want. So like they're expecting you to read their mind in some way, and then they're crashing out when you don't. I see someone saying, give me what I want, in like a more like attitude kind of tone in the voice. And I see them like grabbing an item from the other person's hands, but that doesn't have to be literal. It could just be metaphoric for them kind of like being almost, what's the word? I want to say overbearing, but I don't think it's the right word. Dominating? I don't know. There's just something about them like doing it in maybe not the best way. Like, even if they're not saying this to you, they're thinking it's in this way. And maybe if they said it, they knew they would say it in this way. So I hope they figure out a healthy way of saying it without like expressing their emotions in a harsh way that almost makes you feel like not giving that thing to them. Because I know, like, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, like if somebody's acting like that towards me, I don't even want to give them that anymore, like whatever they want. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about this. Let me know in the comments below. It seems like they're going and telling people about this and kind of like telling lies about you, which I don't like at all. This seems to be kind of like a group of people that have no loyalty towards you when it's like they don't get what they want from you. But when they do get what they want and they're happy, it's like they're loyal. But then when they don't get what they want from you, or when you're acting in a way that is undesired for them, they kind of like switch up or turn their back on you. So I don't like this group of people's energy because of that, because it's like it's almost like this feeling of them only wanting something from you and having no loyalty towards you, or no like unconditional love towards you when they don't get what they want, which is a little bit weird or strange. There's almost like this feeling of like, it's unfair. Why are you giving this treatment to this other person but not to me? So it seems like they're a little bit jealous about how you're treating another person compared to them. They feel like you're not giving them the same special treatment you're giving that other person. I want to move on from this energy because it seems very immature. The thing is, the King of Swords is usually mature in logic, but maybe this person's like logically intelligent but emotionally immature, or these group of people. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles showing up reversed. Then we have Strength reversed, which also showed up in pile 1's reading. And we have the Nine of Wands, but there's a different message here for you. Okay, so it seems like these people are also talking about you, revealing their unspoken thoughts to other people, but not to you. So that seems to be a theme or pattern here in your reading with these two groups of people. These could be, that past group of people could have been like air signs. This group of people could have been like Leos or Virgos, because we have Strength and the Hermit at the back of the deck. Okay. From the Strength reverse card, I usually read this card in a different way, but I'm feeling a different energy from it. I'm seeing somebody look at themselves in the mirror and cry and not feel good enough about themselves. So these seem to be a group of people that have heavy insecurities and feel bad about themselves, and they almost cover that up with humbleness, showing this facade to the world that they're humble, that they're generous, that they're good people, which they are good people. I don't pick up on like bad people necessarily, but it's almost like the facade they show to the world is like how they want people to see them, rather than not necessarily who they truly are deep down, because I do feel like they somewhat have these qualities, but maybe they're the type of people that are like generous, and yes, it's great to be generous, but they do it so that they could be viewed a certain way in their image. Does that make sense? So everything with them is like about image, about my reputation, about like how I seem to others. And it's not genuinely from the heart. It's about image and reputation with the group of people I'm picking up on. And no hate to Leos or Virgos. This is just the energy that's felt here during the reading. I love Leos and Virgos. Okay, so their unspoken thoughts and like what they're revealing here to others. It seems like there's some kind of judgment here. I'm picking up on a group of people that like to gossip about everybody, not just you, so don't take it personally, but they're very cowardly where they would never say these things. They're gossiping about you to your face, but they say it behind your back. It seems like they're judging you for instability in your life, or for maybe not seeming like you have your life together in some way. Maybe you're going through some challenges emotionally or financially, or just experiencing some kind of imbalance within life in general, where maybe you don't feel like you have financial stability, or maybe sometimes you can be all over the place emotionally. Like, let's say you're going through something, but it seems to be because of challenges you're going through, either financially or emotionally. And it seems like they don't get this or understand this. They're just judging, but not putting themselves in your shoes or viewing it with empathy. And I think if they were a lot more empathetic, they would understand that maybe this is just something you're going through right now, and it's not how you're always showing up in the world, if that makes sense. Like, let's say one moment you were just like emotionally unstable when you were going through something, and maybe you did some impulsive things, or maybe you had some kind of emotional meltdown, or you know, something like that. Or let's say you were going through financial issues where you couldn't like afford the things you needed, and then they're kind of like judging it. It's like they're not viewing it from empathy, but it's not that you are always like that or always experiencing that. It was just like maybe one moment or right now, but it seems like they're judging, which I don't like, behind closed doors. What I'm also picking up from them is they secretly feel very lonely, where the only way to connect with others is through gossip, through talking about other people. Okay, I don't like that. I'm sorry. We have Empress. We have the High Priestess. We have the World. I don't like understand why some of these groups of people I'm picking up on, their energy seems like they have bad intentions towards you. Like a lot of these groups of people I'm picking up on. And I don't get it, because since you're showing up as the Queen of Cups, regardless of gender, it's like maybe you've been kind with all these people, but it's like they go and think these things about you, which I don't particularly like. And if you can recognize some of these people in the group of people I'm mentioning, then I wouldn't suggest hanging out with them, because it seems like a lot of these people here in the group of people I'm speaking about just have negative intentions towards you. So the next group of people I'm picking up on have negative intentions, but what I'm picking up on is the type of people that have a lot of secrets, have a lot of like skeletons in their closet, almost use religion or spirituality as a mask to kind of, again, like show the world how good they are, but maybe behind closed doors they don't follow those same rules they expect others to follow, according to religion or spirituality. That's what I intuitively feel from this High Priestess. I usually read the High Priestess quite positively, but this is what I'm intuitively feeling. Their energy towards you at the moment feels very condescending, but it's almost like you threaten them in some way. They might have displayed like condescending behavior towards you or passive aggressiveness if it was a little bit spoken but not fully. If it's unspoken, then you can just tell, like maybe by certain facial expressions they make towards you, or by the way they treat you, or just like from a gut feeling you have from them that they don't fully like you or that they're threatened by you, but they never like fully say it out loud, but it's felt energetically with the High Priestess. It almost feels like they're sizing you up or down in their mind. I don't know what that saying is, but like almost trying to see how big of a threat you are to them. And I feel like you're somebody that's very authentic to yourself and the life you want to live. You live life by your own rule book. You're not necessarily like following the script the world says you have to follow. You're not necessarily like living life the way others expect you to live your life. You live your life for you. And that seems to throw them off guard and make them kind of like, I'm trying to think of the right word though. It kind of feels like, why aren't you following the rules when I am? Like these rules I set out for myself and how I should live my life and how society tells me I should live my life, but you aren't. And it almost just feels like this disbelief kind of feeling or thought pattern of like, why are you doing this? Does that make sense? I don't know how to quite describe this feeling I'm getting from them, but it's almost like I'm seeing them like want you to give up on something that's maybe dear to your heart or important to you. They have a lot of limited beliefs, and it seems like you're opening your mind to kind of like expand in some way to bigger and better. Maybe you're into manifestation, or subconsciously you're kind of like expanding your worldview, where it's like maybe you're believing that you can almost achieve what seems impossible, or you're kind of like opening your world up to self-discovering yourself and finding out your identity outside what the world expects you to be. And it seems like they have a problem with that for some reason, this group of people. High Priestess could be Pisces energy, the world is fixed sign energy, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and the Empress is Libra and Taurus. I don't feel like they're open-minded, expansive, or open to change. They're very rigid in their beliefs, and because you're not, it's like they expect you to be the same as them, but you're not. And that threatens them, I guess. They could be telling lies about you, spreading rumors about you. I don't know why, but I see that. Spirit isn't exactly showing me what the lie or rumor is, but just them spreading rumors. I guess with this pile, I see a lot of gossip with these unspoken thoughts where people want to reveal it to others, but not to you. So, last set of cards, we have Messenger of Air reverse, Queen of Swords reverse, and the Fool reverse. Sorry that this reading was a little bit negative. I can't control the messages coming through, but each group of people I pick up on seem very negative. And I don't think that's a reflection of you. I think you're maybe just in a period of growth where you're threatening people or triggering people. And that has nothing to do with you, but it has everything to do with them and the inner work they need to do on themselves, the lessons they need to learn. Now, this last group of people, I'm picking up on air sign energy with air showing up twice, or even Sag energy, Sagittarius. It seems like this group of people, I'm hearing nosiness, so it's like they're trying to like be in your business. I wouldn't be surprised if they're social media stalking you or asking questions about you to people you know to get like more information on you. It seems like they try to invite you to something, like some kind of event, get together, party, and you decline the invite politely. And it's almost like they thought you were rude for that, but you did it in a polite way for some. I pick up on that energy. If it doesn't resonate, don't force the message, but I just pick up on a group of people that invited you somewhere and got angry that you declined the invite. It almost just seemed like you weren't necessarily interested in being their friend or being around them, but you were polite with them. If it was not like inviting you out somewhere, it's like they tried to include you in some way or invite you into their friend group in some way, shape, or form by like starting a conversation with you or something. And I feel like you didn't want to, like, you just didn't want to. There was maybe a reason behind that, maybe there wasn't a reason behind that, but you just didn't want to. And maybe they're taking that personally. But what I pick up from them is they had bad intentions towards you, and maybe you were suspicious about their intentions with the Seven of Swords reversed at the back of the deck, or maybe you felt like a bad feeling or a gut feeling, and maybe that gut feeling protected you. Because if you would have been their friends, I feel like they would have treated you really badly or would have almost made you like a scapegoat in the group of friends or something like that is coming through. Like, I feel the energy of a friend group that all secretly hate each other and talk behind each other's back, but then like want to invite you in the friend group, and whenever someone new comes in, it's like that new person becomes the scapegoat or becomes the butt of the joke or made fun of in some way. It feels like mean girl energy from high school. And if they're adults, then they haven't like outgrown that energy. It still feels like a high school drama kind of friend group. So again, it seems like they're kind of like angry that you didn't like accept their invite, that you don't want to talk to them. They're questioning it in their mind, like, why don't they want to be friends with us? Like, I don't get it. And I see them feeling very insecure as a result of it, like, I see one of them kind of checking their breath and wondering if their breath smells bad, if they heard something about me that made them not like me. Did I do something to put them off in some way? There's kind of like an insecurity coming from that, and an anger coming from that of like, how could they not want to, like be friends with me, or not want to, come to this invite when everybody wants to be friends with us. It's like they delusionally think that, okay? What I'm seeing in my mind's eye is, like in Mean Girls when they're like, you can't sit with us, and then there's like a specific meme that went around like way, way back then. I think when like Instagram first started or something, and then there was like a response to that, like of I don't want to. So I'm seeing that kind of energy in my mind's eye. I feel like they're mad because they went out of their way to kind of like make you feel welcomed in some way, and you didn't return back the energy. So overall, in terms of people's unspoken thoughts, to just end off this part of the reading before we move on to zodiacs and initials, people think that you move to the beat of your own drum, that you follow your own rules, that you make your own rules for yourself. A lot of people maybe like to gossip about you. A lot of people maybe get triggered by you. You do what you want and you don't apologize for it. You take up space and you don't apologize for it. Yet you're still kind-hearted and polite, and you show up in ways. But I feel like some people get jealous because maybe you're closer to other people than them. And I feel like some people maybe take your behavior personally and then twist it into something negative, when maybe you were just setting a boundary, or maybe you just didn't want to be friends with them and it was nothing personal. There's that kind of energy showing up with you in people's unspoken thoughts of you. People think you're polite, but there's some kind of restraint, some kind of like controlled energy. Not that you're controlled or restrained, but this energy of like holding yourself back in some way with certain people. If that makes sense, you carry yourself in maybe like this classy way, and people can tell you're deeper. They want to get to know your depth, but some people feel like you won't allow them in to see your depth, I guess. People do think that you're very physically beautiful, that you're also possibly observant, and you're giving, but you won't read people's minds to try figure out what they want. They need to communicate and express that to you. Okay, so let's remove these cards and get some zodiacs and initials. I'm hoping to get these zodiacs and initials of the people thinking this about you, or even yours. So let me know how this has resonated with you so far in the comments below. Also, if you like my readings and want to check out my membership to see more exclusive content of mine, I would appreciate it. I'm not sure if I pulled too many zodiacs. If I pulled too many, I'll put some back. We have Scorpio. We have Cancer. Lots of water sign energy. Aries. Pisces. Leo. And Taurus. Then we have the initial O. G. So there's something about you having originality. I. A. P. W. K. V. T. Z. A. E. and X. So that is all I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Lapis lazuli crystal and the star card. We're going to be taking a look at what are people's unspoken thoughts of you. I'd like to just say I have 10 spots available for personal readings for the first week of December. If you'd like to book with me, you can find my contact details in the description box below. Okay, so as I said to pile 1 and 2, I'm doing this reading a little bit differently as to like how I normally do it, where I just say the thoughts. This time I'm telling you about the group of people thinking it, why they're thinking it. So let me know if you like this kind of like style of reading, this type of topic or not, or if it's just like unnecessary information and you just want the thoughts. Okay, so spirit guides of pile number 3. Tell me, what are people's unspoken thoughts about them? We have the Hierophant reverse. I'm seeing a coquette aesthetic or lots of bows for some reason. Very girly kind of like look for those that are women. So 8 of Pentacles and Queen of Wands reverse. I'm hearing what's next, what's coming. So you have a group of people, perhaps co-workers with the 8 of Pentacles, or people you work with, or people in the same industry as you, or clients, or even people that have just taken an interest in your work or what you're doing for yourself, like the moves you're making for yourself. And people are wondering like what your next move is going to be, what you're going to do next, like in terms of your goals or what you're achieving or what you're working towards, or a skill you maybe like expand on in some way. So I guess people are like wondering what your next move is going to be. These are people that have maybe taken interest in like where you're going, your goals. Some of them may be doing this because of insecurity with the Queen of Wands reverse, trying to compete, whereas some of them may be doing it because they almost lack some kind of self-identity and they almost like want to check what everybody else is doing to follow lead. It's kind of like those people that have no self-identity, where it's like they have to look at what's trending or what other people are doing to kind of like know what to do next. Does that make sense? It's like they can't think of their own ideas or can't think of like what to do on their own. They have to almost like follow what other people are doing. So maybe you're kind of seen as like a trendsetter to many people. Maybe a lot of people almost like look at you as like their mood board when it comes to fashion, when it comes to style, the way you look, since style came up a lot. The star tells me that you're somebody that is very inspiring to others, that people almost look up to you, that people see you as somebody that stands out and shines. And I guess some people want to imitate that. Some people want to take inspiration from that. But it's not just the way you look, it's also the goals you've been working on, the plans you've been making. I feel like people see that as inspiring. And so sometimes people like want to kind of learn from you in some way or look at what you're doing to see what they can do better in their own life. It's kind of like you're the blueprint people want to follow or take inspiration from. People could be complimenting you behind your back a lot, saying that you've achieved a lot for yourself, thinking that in their mind too. And the Hierophant reverse tells me that when it comes to your achievements, they're thinking that you're not necessarily following like outdated rules or following outdated information. You're coming up with kind of like new innovative things with the star, new innovative ideas. You're thinking outside the box. You're not just following the templates everybody else is using when it comes to your achievements or your work or your goals or what you're working on. You kind of find your own way to make it your own thing. So that's what a lot of people are thinking at the moment, and it is helping you grow and transform. People are noticing your progress or how you've just like grown in your career or what you've achieved, where you're at right now, and it just seems like you're shining. You're doing really well for yourself. I do think a lot of people are clapping for you, but some are also insecure and want to imitate what you have. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have like a lot of copycats, but I wouldn't also be surprised if you like are seen as a trendsetter. Okay, so Strength reverse. This card keeps moving and it's irritating. Okay, Nine of Cups reverse. This is a similar card to pile 2, but different in a way. Let's see how I'm going to read this. The Six of Pentacles. Okay, something about being a good cook, or maybe someone here is a chef or something, or like you're good at baking, or maybe you have some kind of talent that people are noticing, or maybe you've expanded on a skill where you're becoming talented at it, even if you didn't always have that talent. People are seeing that you're humble, that you're not necessarily saying that you're the best at everything, but you are qualified for many things, or you are good at many things, or one specific thing that is like almost extraordinary in a way. But you also admit that you have strengths and weaknesses. You have things you're good at, but also things you're not good at. And you can admit that. You don't pretend to know everything or pretend to be good at everything. And I feel like people think you're real because of that. There is a group of people here that feel like they never get what they want, like things never work out for them. They put in so much effort into succeeding, or into getting what they want, or into just having the life that they want, but they feel like things never work out for them. And they've kind of feel like they've been pressured to feel like they have to have everything down, like they have to know everything, they have to be the best at everything, they have to be smart at everything. But you kind of just being real and saying, oh, I don't know about this, but I know about this, or I'm not good at this, but I'm good at this, kind of makes them feel better about themselves, less insecure, less like pressure to be good at everything, just to have the things they want. So it's almost like they see you as like real for that. They think that you've kind of like opened their mind to not put so much pressure on themselves to be perfect at everything. So far we see Taurus energy, Leo energy, Aquarius, and lots of earth energy. So that could be yours or the group of people I'm picking up on. Then we have the Seven of Wands. I'm hearing you're looking for your freedom with the Seven of Wands. I'll see how I read that. Eight of Cups reverse and the King of Cups reverse. Okay, so the next group of people are people you find suspicious in some way, where you don't know what their motives or intentions are. And you almost don't feel safe trusting them with like your secrets, with things in your life. You don't necessarily see them as the most reliable. And this is because they show up as very detached. They make it seem as though they don't care about anything. Very nonchalant people, or kind of like emotionally chaotic people where they're unpredictable with their emotions, where you never know what side of them you're going to get the next day. And so that's why you kind of see them as unreliable, because they either seem to pretend they don't care and pretend to be nonchalant, or they seem to be just like emotionally chaotic and unpredictable with their emotions. These could be people you have distanced yourself from, cut off, or are no longer interested in like having a relationship with the Eight of Cups reverse. But it seems like they're not over you. But it seems like they're almost trying to act like they don't care, or like they've let go of you, even though inside they're still stuck on you. They still like reminisce on you. They're still like wanting you back in some way in their life, but they would never admit that. It seems like they're thinking that you're guarded, that you don't trust them. And I guess that there is some like truth to that, to their unspoken thoughts. It's almost like they think you're unattainable in some way. Like on some level they wanted you around, but there's almost like something unattainable about you. These could be water signs, but it doesn't have to be. They're thinking that as soon as they thought they had you, it's like you kind of went away. Or they feel like you pushed them away in some way or didn't give them a chance, but I don't think they see why you feel this way. I don't think they realize like what they did, like the behavior they kind of showed that made you almost feel like I can't rely on them. I can't trust them. Does that make sense? It's like they don't get why you're guarded. They see that you're guarded, but they don't get why. So they're questioning it. They also don't get why you're pushing them away. They don't understand it. They don't understand like why they have to be the one chasing you and you push them away constantly. They don't understand why you're so protective of your heart and why you won't just trust them. The thing is, I feel like people see that you are someone that is protective of your heart, and I guess maybe you're the type of person that's like selective with who you allow in your life. And I guess because they don't understand that, they're questioning it. But I guess people in general think that of you, that you're selective with who you choose, because you want people around you that are going to bring out the best in you, that are going to be healed, that are going to be mature enough to communicate and, you know, be generous the way you are. Not that you're looking for anything in return, but maybe you want reciprocal connections. You want people around you that are emotionally mature, and that's valid to want. But I think they're questioning it because they feel like they didn't get closure from you as to why you left or distanced yourself or don't want to be around them. I see both sides of like why they're thinking this, because they feel like they lack closure and they worry a lot about like what the reason could be, where it almost makes them feel insecure and makes them wonder like, what about me don't they like? What about me isn't good enough? They kind of like stay up at night thinking about that a lot. But I also see your side of like why you don't want to be close to them. It's valid. So 4 of Swords reverse, Justice reverse, and the 5 of Cups. Oh my gosh, this energy makes me want to laugh, but like not in a good way. How do I describe this energy, Spirit? Okay, I'm picking up in a group of people that have a victim mentality. You know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen videos of people like making a funny video of like somebody getting caught cheated, like somebody got caught cheating and now they're the ones that are crying. I'm seeing an example of that in my mind's eye, but Justice Reverse, it doesn't have to be cheating, but Justice Reverse is like this type of energy of somebody that was dishonest, somebody that went behind your back, somebody that maybe was morally gray or treated you unfairly in some way, but then they act like the victim with the 5 of Cups. They act like you're the one that hurt them. They're the one crying, but they're the one that hurt you. Which is why I'm laughing at them, because this is like so messed up. This is like so backwards. Like, why do they even think this way? Why do they make themselves the victim when you're the one that is like supposed to be sad? Obviously, I'm not saying you're supposed to be sad, but like, you get what I mean. Like, you're the one that would be sad in that situation, but then they're acting more sad than you are, which is like backwards. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're thinking this way. It seems like they're kind of saying that you hurt them, that you disappointed them. But it's almost like they didn't want to get caught lying to you, or they didn't want to get caught doing whatever they did behind your back. And since you caught them, it's almost like they're blaming you for catching them when they're the one that should be taking responsibility for whatever they did behind your back. But it's almost like they're blaming you for catching them, which again is like so backwards, so messed up. It's like there's a lack of accountability here. And they're just blaming you for everything. When you never even did anything wrong, they were the ones that did something wrong. And I think it's going to catch up to them in some way. So with the 4 Swords reverse, there's almost like this energy of blame, of like, you are giving me anxiety, you're making me restless, you're making me feel like uncomfortable, you're making me feel sad. Like that type of energy of blaming you and making themselves the victim when they were the one that did that thing. Oh, I don't like that energy. So overall, people think that you're somebody that won't keep yourself in situations where you see a person's like emotionally immature, or you see a person is like not being honest with you. You protect your heart, you protect your peace. You're someone that's shining right now, seen as a trendsetter, like I said before. Seen as somebody that is humble, but also shining at the same time. You're seen as somebody that pours into people and is so generous. But I guess there are some people that are questioning you, questioning why you do things that you do, not like understanding the reason behind that and kind of like thinking, why is this happening? But not understanding why you did that thing. And then I guess you have like a lot of victim mentality people thinking that you should be the one being sorry when they're the one that did you wrong. I also see that you have a lot of people that are appreciative of like what you've given them. Overall, I guess people think you're emotionally mature, that you're a good communicator, that you can be guarded at times or may have trust issues at times. You're looking for relationships that bring you safety, peace, and comfort, as well as loyalty. Maybe that's an important thing to you, or honesty. Okay, so now let's move on to zodiacs and initials. Hopefully that was informative enough. So yeah, let me know how you have resonated with this in the comments below. Also, if you like my readings and you want to check out my membership to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a weekly video on there. We have Cancer. I think Cancer came out a lot. I think for all piles, I'm not sure. Taurus, Aries, Aquarius, and Scorpio. So these could be your signs or the signs of the people thinking this. So we have S, we have I, W, E, A, Z, D, J, F, C, M, L, H, U, and E. So that is what I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.